This is a bass review for the Ibanez SR375 MBBT 5-string bass. Very fun bass to play, very versatile, very sharp-looking bass all around. Off the bat, my number one favorite thing about this bass is the maple neck, the maple fretboard, but it's got it's actually a 5-piece maple neck. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just really like the way the finish looks. Obviously, since this would be facing you when you're playing, not many people would see this, but for my own pleasure, I am a big fan of it. And also note that it goes all the way up to the top of the headstock. It's just very cool looking, very different looking, I thought, which is, after the way that the bass plays and sounds and stuff, this was a definite draw for me. Color of the bass is kind of a combination of tobacco burst and sunburst. Very nice. The back of it a little darker with it, and that also carries all the way up into the headstock. Features of this bass. There are actually a lot. There's really a lot you could do with this bass. When you look here at the knobs, there's a typical volume one here. Then you come to this here. This is the pickup switch. Not technically a switch. Slider, I'll call it. If you slide it all the way this way, you solo out the bridge pickup. If you swing it all the way back this way, you're going to solo out the neck pickup. If you keep it in the middle, you kind of get a combination of the two. One thing worth noting, I think a lot of people talk about when you get basses, I guess you would consider in this range, which people would say it's an upper beginner to an intermediate level. I don't know who designates those rules, because I don't know how many people are actually going out and spending thousands of dollars on guitars just to sit at their house to play them, but, you know, this is a $450, $475, I'm not exactly sure, I've had it for about a year. Maybe it's gone down since then. A complaint with basses in this range is the B string. It's got a little bit of buzz to it. It's not amazing, but I don't really know what I'm comparing it to because I've never played like a $1,000 5-string guitar, and I am typically more a 4-string guitar player, but because I like Primus, I wanted a 5-string guitar so I could poorly try to attempt to play some of Les Claypool's songs. That's besides the point. I think it's fine. I think it does the trick. You get like a nice... I mean, there's always things you could do with EQing it. You could also, you know, try to do it, but that's worth mentioning. Back to the pickups. Ibanez, the higher the sound gear models go up, they put in Bartolini pickups, which are very nice, and they are very high-end, I would say. In this being it's the 375, it has standard Ibanez passive pickups, but they also do the trick. The slots, I believe, are big enough that if you wanted to swap them out to put in Bartolini's, EMGs, some other type of pickup, you always can. It's a matter of it. I'm fine with them. I like how they sound. I think they're loud enough, and in combination with the PV-TNT that I play out of, I think it's fine. Also worth noting, well, we'll go back around. So we have the volume, we have the pickup switch, slider, then we get down here, we have a stacked bass and treble. This, while it's passive Ibanez pickups, has an active 3-band EQ on it. Bass at the bottom, treble on the top, stacked. The stacked helps because it kind of clears up. I'm not a big fan of guitars that have tons of knobs. I like more of a minimalist approach. So having the stacked rather than having 5, I think is a plus. So you have that, and then finally the last thing that I think really gives sound gear basses their big draw is this here, which is a style selector, they call it. Now, if the style selector is switched all the way to there, which would be to my right, you get more of what is designated for playing with a pick or more of like a fingerstyle type playing. So more of like... and you get, it's a nice warm sound. It's very mid-rangey to me. Not as percussive as this bass is clearly capable of doing, as I will show in a minute. But it's a nice sound, even if you go with a pick. It's just a nice... nice sound. And then if you put that in combination with, put the style selector all the way to my right, so you solo the bridge pickup, then you kind of are bringing in more of that kind of Jaco Pastorius, if you will, Fender jazz bass sound. The bass is also capable of very nice harmonics. Anyway, moving on. So let's take now, I'm going to put this, I'm going to put the selector, the pickups back in the middle for a blend. I'm going to take the style selector, going to put it all the way to my left. This is more for the bass, slap bass sound. And you'll be able to hear why, just more of... More percussive, more in your face, much more treble. Even if you kick it up a notch, you push the treble. Just more in there. Now, say I take the selector and I go all the way to the neck. You could hear there too, moving the selector back, you could hear the difference in the range just from, if you try just a double stop, you can hear that drastic change in the bass, and I think that is a positive. I think that's very positive because I think people looking to buy instruments, you can't necessarily, or everyone necessarily doesn't walk into a guitar center to buy 5 different guitars. You kind of want to be able to maximize the benefit of the one you have and be able to get the most sounds, and with this, you absolutely definitely can. So with that said, I would highly, highly recommend the Ibanez SR 375M BBT. See ya!